Hello devs, Sid the IT guy here, and in our last video we saw the Express Chat application setup. So now we will see some additional functionality added into the app. So here I have a normal tab open with localhost 3000 with sylvester@gmail.com, and on an incognito tab we have the Sid the IT guy at gmail.com, and let's log in into both of these accounts. So I wanted to take you through the functionality, how it was done, and yeah, let's begin. So now if I refresh, then Sylvester here also turns green and it says online here. Okay, so the tutorial starts at the database. So in users, I have a default channel. I have a last login timestamp and a last logout timestamp and last message as an ID. So it will just tell you which was the last user the user interacted with. So that is used in the server side rendering of this page. The first time when you refresh this page, it is loaded from server side, and then we expect to have Socket IO handle the things entirely. So yeah, so the first thing is taken from the chats table and it is shown. So in the backend, we have a post request slash post slash message, which handles the message um, for the user to send to the recipient. So here you can see insert into chats, we insert that and we socket broadcast.emit and we emit a receive message event. Now how that is set up is in server.js, you will see this constant server equal required HTTP create server. After that, you'll see. So in server.js, you will see .env config and the normal installation that we have to have for an ExpressJS project. Down here, you will see that I am hosting the public directory static. After that, we have the session, we have the routers here. Okay, so Socket IO is integrated at this point where we take a server constant and we initialize it with this. After that, we require the Socket IO server, and then we add this functionality. So on the server side, now the socket knows for the events of login, receive message, disconnect, and yeah, these three events are currently what we are working with. So the idea here is when the user logs in, then people who are already logged in into the app should see that user as logged in. So let me show you here. Yeah, so if I log out here and I refresh here, now it says last seen 2 hours ago. Don't mind the 2 hours ago, I'll fix that. And if I do sylvester@gmail.com and I log in, now it says online and the dot here turns green. So this is the expected functionality. So let me just refresh one time here and now I will be shown as online. Yeah, so it's online and it's green. So what I wanted to do was take you through the code and yeah, so this is the server side Socket IO installation. And after that, we just listen to the port. And this is the front end bit of it. So in front end, at every refresh, I emit this login event. So that means that every time when the page refreshes, all the other recipients are given an event of checking for login. I mean, it will show that user as online. So this is what's done here. So if I receive a login event, then we check if it's not the same user. Otherwise, we just find this data user ID with data.id element in the chat list class, and we just remove the class offline and add class online. So these two lines will get it done. And yeah, so this is for the text shown for the online bit, which is, if I refresh this, okay, so am I logged out already? Yeah, so for this bit where it shows online, this will be done here. If it is not, yeah. So on the top of the file, you can see two hidden types. So first one is the user account, which is the user who's logged in right now. Their user ID is taken in hidden input. The same for recipient account. Now this recipient account comes from backend, where you will see this, yeah, the blank get request here. So it has the checkout middleware on it. After that, four variables are taken, which is the account of the user self, the chat history for that account, and who they last message to. Sidebar elements, which is on this side of sidebar elements. All this is a list of people with their avatars and either a green or a red dot. And the recipient account, which means Yeah, so the last person that this account messaged to, we need to get who they was. Then this is the payload and this is the rest render. There's a console log here. You can uncomment this to find out what is getting set here in the payload variable. And we just do that. Okay, so at this point, yeah, so you will see this message in the post message API, which basically updates both of the users for the last message where the ID is this. So one time we pass recipient ID user ID, the next time we pass user ID recipient ID. So both the users who are involved in that conversation get their last updated value. So that is why when the front end loads, you will see the last person that the person was chatting with. So yeah, so let me add a message here. Hey, how are you doing? And if I hit this button, now it says, hey, how are you doing? So it's real time now. I am doing fine. How about you? This. Now it says, I'm doing fine. How about you? So this is basically the functionality that we have gotten here, and we could add some additional functionalities like clicking on the left sidebar element. So the current user, for example, if I click Richard here, then their conversation should be loaded in the window. And yeah, so basically we could add new message events where if somebody is receiving a new message, then this will be highlighted as, let's say, green background. So we know that, and there should be a counter on that avatar. So we can see how many messages we have received from that person. Okay, so if I click, oh yeah, one more functionality I've added is started the conversation at which point, because there's an API here, start chat. Yeah, here it is. So there's an API called start chat here where it takes the parameter ID of the recipient that the user wants to start the chat with. And we basically put a null record in the chats table. And in chat.js, we have a check here. Um, yeah, here we go. So at this part, if there is chat history and message is greater than 0, then we know that that's the proper message. Otherwise, it just shows started the conversation, yeah, at which timestamp. That's it. So pretty simple functionality. Let me know what you think of it. Feel free to take a poll. The GitHub repository will be provided in the description box. Be sure to check that out. And while you're down there, consider hitting the subscribe button as it will help with the algorithm and stuff. And yeah, that's about it. See you.